All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had an amazing holiday weekend. Happy 4th to everyone. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today? Hey, Norm, can you hear us okay? Excellent. Okay, we just got to check Norm's mic here, guys. Give us 1 second. How about over on YouTube? Can you guys hear me okay as well? It looks like you can because you're saying good morning, so excellent.
I cannot hear you, man.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. And we can hear Norm. Okay, so Norm, please check.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, so both of you guys can. Okay, so YouTube and chat can hear us, and Norm as well. Okay, perfect.
Is it me or is it you?
Both chats. All right, so we'll I just sent Norm a message, so we'll let him
All right, I think it's
figure that
something on
out.
my end. Give me a second.
Yep. All right, so we'll give Norm a little bit to figure that out, guys. Before we get started, we have a huge and he's getting some echo on his end. We'll see. So big gappers list this morning, guys. As you can see here, a lot in the green today. If we scroll down here, we have everything have been looking at over the last couple of weeks, especially airlines. Cruise lines are also up in the 3% area, so doing nice this morning. Obviously, the SPY is up very nice today at 1.5 after coming back down from some levels that we'll talk about in a second here. Not much in the red this morning. Okay, nice echo there. Start the week. So again, not much in the red this morning. Just two of them, VXRT and XRNE, which we have been looking at quite a bit. So we'll see if we can get into those and see what's going on there. They have not been trading all that well though, these two. So for the most part, I think we're gonna find a lot of stuff doing well in our main gappers list on the green side this morning. Norm, can you hear us okay now?
No, I'm gonna have to restart, buddy, because I'm having audio issues. So I'll be right back.
No worries,
I
man.
can do the market report real quick, and then I'll hop off.
Okay.
So right now, SPY's up 1.5%. It's following a really strong day in China. Some of those indices were up 4%. All the sectors are up. Specifically, in energy is leading the way. Financials are strong, but really it's across the board. It's pretty broad. Part of that is on the energy. Warren Buffett buying a piece of Dominion's energy, their natural gas, part of their natural gas properties. And then Uber, of course, we'll get into, is up 9.2% on the acquisition of Postmates that we discussed last week. But seems that has gone through and they've agreed to the price. It's around $2.6 billion off the top of my head. That's what we got. So as far as the calendar for today, and I apologize, it kind of threw me for a loop since I can't hear. You got a services PMI final that'll come out at 9:45, and ISM non-manufacturing index at 10 a.m. So not a ton of data, but those are things that could move the market a little bit.
All right.
With that having been
Excellent.
said, I'm going to restart real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, excellent. So we'll catch Norm in a bit later when he comes back. He'll join us right back in. So with that said, guys, let's go right into our gappers list. We have a lot to dig through here. We won't be able to get through all of them. We'll look at the ones that are in double digits today, see what's causing these huge pop-ups this morning. And then we'll get into some of the favorite ones like Tesla, which obviously has been doing so well, up another 6% this morning. And there's some other favorites. SQ, we have quite a bit on here. WKHS has been very nice. American Airlines and other cruise lines, we'll look into those as well. So Let's get started here. Let's start with what's leading the gappers lift towards the top side is going to be FUTU. So this one here up 25.5 this morning. Pre-market's not looking all that great, guys. A little bit choppy for it to be up this much, and also with that type of volume, guys, we're not seeing a great flow of action for the most part. Again, they're up nicely. It's a stock that does not trade a lot of volume, so that concerns me a bit. If you look at it here, for the most part, it only trades about 2 million shares. So the float sitting at 34 million, so it's not a low flow stock, but it's one that has very light volume. If we just go back and look at how this trades for the most part, if you look at it Friday's action, again, just one pop early on, and then the volume completely dies down, and you're not getting anything after that. So not a lot of continuation, not a lot of activity. The day before that, let's look at Thursday, same situation, guys. You had a couple of, not even at the open, just nothing really happening. One drop here, but for the most part, when you have a stock that trades less than 2 million shares for the entire day, this is what you're going to get. So you could be sitting here. It could take you forever to get a move out of the stock. So that's my concern with this one. Obviously, this morning they got a nice pop going for them. But my concern is going to be, are they going to get the volume for a nice continuation in a possible play? So with that said, I'm going to throw it on here, but most likely this will be dropped off our list unless we can get something good going here. NIO has been just incredible, guys. Definitely going to keep this one on watch. We had some pretty good trading on it last week. And that seems to be continuing this morning. Obviously up 22.5 right now, 15 million shares traded. So again, the volume here, guys, it's just incredible on NIO this morning. So definitely on our list, has been trading very well, has created a lot of opportunities towards the top and towards the bottom as well. We've seen some pretty good short opportunities the last couple of weeks, and also some pretty good pops this morning. So very active, very strong. We'll keep an eye on this one. Next on the list, FUV. This one is pretty much right now not doing a whole lot in the gap in the pre-market activity. Look at this price action. We're not seeing anything all that great for the most part right now, but volume is 146. We're up 15.8. Had a couple of big days here. Also another one that has very light volume. Again, my concern with these type of stocks is that all that volume sometimes doesn't create a good pre-market intraday action. On this one here, it's quite the opposite though. Look at the pre-market activity. We did not get anything, and we had a pretty decent day on Friday though. Very sporadic on the volume. We got a nice pop here, dies down for the most part, another pop and dies down again, and it's able to trade higher here in a nice trend trade. But for the most part, it's one of these stocks, when you have this type of low volume, it's very difficult to get a good intraday trading action. Price action is very difficult to read, especially the level 2. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt right now, guys, but I guarantee you when we get down to some of these other names, we're going to have some pretty good volume, some pretty good activity, and this one, FUV and FUTU, might be some good possibles. It might not make our final list. BLNK also has a horrible pre-market action, guys. We do have some volume here, 428, up 15.3, nice big gap up. Look at the daily, also has been pretty nasty here, very choppy. So for the most part, I think I'm going to put this one to the side as well. I think I'm not going to watch this one this morning. OSTK is one that we used to trade quite a bit going back a year or so. Again, right now we're looking at some pretty light pre-market action. We're up 10%, 100,000 shares traded. For the most part, that's not a whole lot for this type of stock. This stock trades used to be trading on heavy volume. We're talking about tons of volume, but right now we're not seeing a whole lot in the pre-market action for the most part. Let's see how this thing has been trading. This is Friday's action. Friday was a very, no, I'm sorry, I'm saying Friday, but that was Thursday, excuse me. We're off Friday. This was Thursday. Thursday was a very choppy day. A lot of volume in the morning, and then after that, things really died down. So we're not going to get a whole lot on anything from Friday. Let's look at Thursday. Thursday also did not do all that well, guys. And we're talking about on Wednesday. Thursday, we gapped up as well. And you can see here, did not trade well. So today, I don't expect anything much out of OSTK. I'm going to skip on this one. I think we need to see some serious volume coming out of OSTK for it to get going to be on our list. Let's look at Uber. Uber is nice, guys. This one does trade very well. I love the daily right now. We're bouncing the last couple of days of this great support that has been resistance in the past. So I definitely want to have OSTK on our list here, guys. So I'm going to put, Uber on our list. I think this one is good. 901,000 shares traded right now. So it's got tons of volume. I love the way the daily's setting up here. Pre-market action starting to get going. Not the best pre-market action. You would expect for 900,000 to have a better flow here, but we're not seeing that. But for the most part, I think Uber could be a good one today. Definitely going to have this one on my list. All right, so now I'm going to start skipping through some of these pretty fast, guys. I want to really look at some of the ones that are down here that might be looking good this morning. CARV doesn't look great, guys. Look at the daily, just horrible. Pre-market action, not all that great. Very light on the volume. So I'm going to head and skip on this one. GSX, for the most part, this one here, horrible pre-market action as well, horrible daily, not a whole lot of volume down here, so I'm going to skip on this one as well, guys. Again, you have a pop of up 7.2, 173, but for the most part, this is not looking all that great. So let's scroll down. I want to take a look at Tesla. I won't be trading this one, but it's just incredible what this thing has been doing over the last couple of days, guys. We're up now another 6.2 after some pretty good runs last week. I think every day last week we had a nice little pop on this stock. So today we're hitting that 1300 mark. We're right shy of it, 12,000. I'm sorry, 1294 to be exact. So again, pretty strong stock this morning, guys. Continue just rip higher. Let's look at Billy's one that we have traded in the past. Billy not doing all that much, but Billy's one that I like, though. I have had some good trading on Billy. For the most part now, pre-market action is a little bit all over the place. I'm going to put it down as a possible, see if it can get better, if we can get anything out of Billy this morning. All right, let's take a look at the airlines, cruise lines, and I'm going to go over to the chat because I think we need to definitely give you guys a chance to see what you guys got going on your end, because it's a lot on here today. So let's start with the airlines, which is the first one leading the way this morning. Looks like American Airlines. So American Airlines right now is up 3%, 1.7 million shares traded for the most part. And right now it's looking pretty good, guys. As far as the daily, we're holding on to this level. We need to break out of this area here, out of this support. I'm a little surprised that it's not up higher with the way the SPY is trading right now. So I would expect this to be in the 6%, 8% range, but only 3% and kind of moving sideways a bit here. So again, a little bit strange that we're not getting a nice big pop on the airlines. I'm going to put it on here just to be on the safe side. If any one of the moderators can go into the YouTube chat and give Lucas a little block there for us, will be amazing. He's being a little pain here. Let's look at Save this morning. Save not looking great, guys. It's going sideways, so not doing much. Let's look at what's the next airline we have. Let's look at United, UAL. Here we go. UAL also not looking great, guys. Only up 2.4, 500,000 shares traded, so very light on the volume. So I think the airlines are not in their best look this morning. One more, Delta. Yeah, they're not looking great. So I'm going to skip on that one. I'm going to keep American Airlines because they have some significant volume. Even with this block trade here, guys, of 344,000 shares, right? Doesn't do much there. They still got 1.7 million shares traded. Not looking pretty, though, right now. So we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, let's take a look at our cruise lines, guys. CCL leading the way here. They are up 2.5. Similar like the airlines, just not looking well this morning. Again, they're up, but they're just kind of moving sideways a bit here. Not a whole lot of volume on CCL. Only 442,000 shares traded, which is pretty light. So Norm is telling me AL is not as much because of reported high cancellations. Okay, so it's not up as much because of reported high cancellations on American Airlines, which makes sense. But again, just not looking pretty well. So it could be active today because again, 1.7 million shares is quite a bit. If it was not for that, as Norm mentioned, it probably would have been a lot higher. Here is what else we have for airlines. I think that covers it. Let's look at an NCLH. Also not doing all that great, guys, in the cruise lines and for the most part in airlines, pretty much going sideways. So let's take a look at what you guys have on your end. I want to look at one more though. MGM, let's see what's going on here. So MGM not doing much, and also JD. I saw JD here. I like JD. Sometimes it trades very well. This morning JD's up 3.4, 306,000 shares traded. And again, JD could have a pretty bad pre-market action and still put in a good trading day. So I'm inclined to put JD on my list here. And then I'm going to take it over to the chats and see what you guys like this morning. Let's start with our chat here. Let's start with Josh. Michael, JD all-time high. It is JD all-time high. Let's take a look here. I believe it might be. Yeah, I think so. It looks like it is. I don't ever recall it trading JD higher than 60 bucks here, 60. So it looks like it is on all-time high here, doing very well this morning. Yes, it is all-time high for JD. So even that's important. That's worth watching as well as we're hitting these levels. So let's start with Josh here. WKHS this morning. This one very active last week, guys. But the issue with this stock is in most part had a very active pre-market action, but right at the open, it just got so choppy. Even on this would have been last week's action here. Again, just very choppy, very difficult to trade. So be careful with this one. We had one day we had incredible pre-market activity. I think it might have been this one. Look at the great pre-market action. And then you had just one move at the open. Then after that, it just became garbage. Really nothing going on. Look at the volume drop here. So nothing happening. Let's go back here again. So just be careful with this one, guys. It's one that doesn't trade all that well. But I'll put it on here. The daily looks amazing. But just at the open, guys, just be careful. It does not trade all that well. So we'll see. Great pre-market action right now. Some serious volume. Let's see if that can continue if we're not going to get chopped up around on WKHS. And let's look at AYRO this morning. AYRO has a great pre-market action right now. What is the status on AYRO and what is the float for this one? Lower price stock, AYRO right now sitting at 5.27 million shares traded, as you can see here on Trade Ideas. So I am going to bring this down over to the low flow pile. Definitely the low flow that's pretty active this morning with 5 million shares traded. You can see here breaking out of this area pretty nice. Again, won't be on my list, guys. I avoid these stocks. Again, I don't trade them very well. So I don't put them on my list. Let's see what else we have, guys. INO here. This one not doing a whole lot right now. It looks like we might have Norm back in action. Norm, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I guess my headset went out. My headphones went out, and I get saved by my sons. These are pretty new. If this happened a month ago, I'd be wearing Paw Patrol headphones with ears on it. So
great.
Here we go.
Oh man, well, we would have paid to see that. That would have been nice. All right, so here we have INO, guys. Again, not a whole lot of volume right now. Price action, this stock usually trades a better pre-market activity, but it is in play, guys. We have 660,000 on this stock. It is up 4.7. Norm, I'm not sure if you have any jump in on anyone that you have any news on here.
Well, I'm now completely behind in just about everything.
I figured. So, yeah.
It's trying to take care of what's going on, but I'll hop in if I see anything or know anything in there.
Yep. Absolutely. Cut in if you have any info on this one. But again, guys, this could just be moving on technicals as well. Again, the market is up quite a bit this morning, doing pretty well. This is up 4.9. So I'll throw it on here, guys. I'm not sure how great this is going to trade. Again, this is a heavy traded stock with a lot of volume. So let me show you last week. See, if you look at it here, you have some pretty good volume, had a nice pop on here. Right now, we're not seeing a whole lot of activity in the pre-market action. Let me show you another day. This is the market open here. Look at the action pre-market on this date here. Just amazing flow of price action. Then at the open, you get a beautiful continuation with some testing of the VWAP here before it continues to drop down. We're not seeing that today in the pre-market. So not saying that it cannot have a great day, especially if the SPY continue to push higher at the open, if that's going to be the direction. But I'm inclined to put this down next to Billy as a possible this morning. So I'm going to take it off our main list here. All right, so we have JD, we have INO. Let's take a look at IMMU. We have looked at this one before. It does not trade very well, guys. It is very choppy, very light on volume. So I'm going to keep this one off the list, even though it has 191. Look how this 191,000 shares is being traded. This is horrible pre-market action. What I mean by that, you got to just couple. They look like block trades, really. They don't look like no price
I think there's
action.
There's 109,000 share, 110,000 share block trade.
Yeah,
that went through around 710. So
yeah. So again, right around here, it looks like. Yeah. So no action here, guys. We'll skip on this one. Let's head down over to GUNX. This is one that also has been active over the last couple of days. Had a big day on Thursday. Right now, very active. 10 million shares traded, guys. So again, very active this morning. Let's take a look at what it did on Thursday. Thursday took off here right from the gate. It's never really looked back. But again, it did this with very light volume. So it's a little bit difficult to read that price action when you have such light volume. It then later on into the afternoon, it took off. Volume came in, and you can see how beautifully the chart changes between no volume here, although it's trending sideways a little bit here, how great it trades after the volume comes in. So possible continuation today, guys. I do love the daily on it. I'll add it on here. We'll see how it turns out before we get to that market open. Let's take a look at SQ possible continuation. Yes, SQ has been ripping, guys. I think this is also sitting at all-time high, I believe. I've never seen SQ up this high. A couple of really good days over the last week as well. Look at this beautiful breakout here above this 105 level that we had, right? 106.37 level that we had here. Takes off nicely. So possible continuation today. Pre-market's not looking all that great, but this is typical SQ action. You don't get a huge pre-market action unless you have specific news to them and something is really moving it. But it could definitely be in play today. Try to test some of these all-time highs we're sitting on right now. All right, let's scroll down a bit here, guys. I'm gonna head down to Scott. He's giving us plug for the most part right now. Possible continuation, 823,000 shares traded. Yeah, this one's been very active, guys, over the last couple of days as well. Last couple of weeks, really. Breaking out this beautiful area here at 555, and from there has been trading so nice. Volume has increased over the last couple of days, creating some good action. Pre-market right now looking a little sideways for the most part, like we're seeing on some of these stocks, but could be one that takes off this morning. We'll add plug on here as well. PFE took off sometime last week, right? Had a big day here, gapped up and sold off and was very active. Since then has come back and been able to regain some of these recent highs for the most part. Right now, pre-market action though, guys, very, very quiet, very light as far as the flow of things here. It's just kind of moving sideways. We do have 217. Possible continuation, but I do not like the way this pre-market looks right now. Not worth completely discarding it, but we're definitely going to put in it over here down to the possibles list. GUNX we do have, guys, so that's on there. Let's see what else. LMND. What we have here, Lemonade. Is this a recent IPO?
It IPO'd on Friday. It was absolutely insane. I don't usually trade IPOs, but I took a breakout from 60 on it. It was nuts.
Oh, wow. This thing opened up at 49 all the way up to 60, 66. Wow. That's a pretty impressive IPO start, guys. You don't usually get
it finished higher than that. I think 60, almost 70,
Yeah, previous day close sitting at 70, at 69.41 to be exact. I mean, this is a nice big pop. So again, a lot of action happening here. Guys, you can definitely keep this one on here. I won't keep it because a recent IPO. I might look at it later in the day to see what it's doing, but I think I'm going to watch some other stuff at first. But I'm going to keep it on here just to see how this trades. But it won't be on my main list just because it's a recent IPO. I'm not going to have a lot of levels for it this morning. It'll be good for a possible scalp trade on it. Again, just to get in and out quickly if you see some direction forming one way or the other. You don't have shorts for it right now. It's going to be difficult to find shorts as it's just opened up. So probably on a long breakout here. Okay, so let's take a look at a few more, guys. Two more here. GLD, this is gold. So I don't usually keep gold on my list, but gold is trading slightly higher this morning. Jared can give you a lot of information on gold. I'm sure he'll put his 2 cents on gold in a second here when we do the watch list. But for the most part, I'm not going to have this on my list. But again, slightly up this morning. PDD. PDD also very active, up 6.5, 300,000 shares traded right now. Had a good day on Thursday, guys. Traded very well. No signs in the pre-market action this was in play, but at the open just took off here with some decent volume and traded very well. So possible continuation on PDD. We have traded this one in the past. It does trade very clean, so I'm inclined to keep it on here for the most part on our main watch list. All right, guys, let's head over to our YouTube chat, see what we have here. Let's start with BYND. Let's start with
Beyond the Meat.
Yes, so BYND right now, what is it giving us this morning? It is very light in volume, guys, only 60,000, but we've seen this type of pre-market action from BYND, especially recently, where it doesn't have a whole lot going on pre-market, and you do get some kind of action one way or the other. But today seems exceptionally light, under 100,000, so I'm not going to put it on my list, even as a possible. We need to see this hit some kind of scanner, turbo breakup or turbo breakdown to be able to be added on our list. How about D? Is the D a ticker here? Yeah, D is a ticker. We are down 2% right now, 677.
I'm actually surprised to see this down like it is, and I haven't dug into it too much because of the technical problems I've had going on. But this is the one where Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, bought a piece of it, bought a division. So I'm a little surprised to see it.
Yeah, agreed. So in that case, we're down 2% this morning. We were pretty high up. We were sitting at 98, starting the pre-market early on this morning, and just slowly been creeping down here. Now we went from red to green in the last hour or so. So Interesting. Look at the wick here. As high as we hit almost 100 for the most part, 99.89 high of our pre-market. So interesting on what we're going to get on this one. Worth keeping here as a possible. I'm going to make some room here over for D. All right, let's look at BABA. I do have JD on my list this morning. BABA not looking all that better than JD. It is up huge today, guys. 3.9, 523. Definitely in play. I think we're hitting all-time highs. Yes, we are. We're just hitting all-time highs. This pre-market action looks like. So again, BABA trading very, very nice this morning. Yeah, you know what? I gotta put this on here. This is looking decent. Although the pre-market is going sideways, we're breaking all-time highs here. That could create a lot of activity for us this morning. All right, guys, we have quite a bit on here. I'm gonna do 3 more. IDEX, excuse me, IDEX. This is a penny stock, guys, so I'm not really going to be focusing on anything that's trading this low. Let's look at their flow. IDEX, what we have here, it's 130 million shares flow, so it's not a low flow company, but again, trading at this type of price action is not the best. I find it difficult to trade. Go ahead, Norm.
Penny stock.
Yeah. So even though it's not a low flow stock, it is a penny stock trading most part under $1 here. So I'm gonna just stay away from something like this. KTOV, and then we'll do one more BLU. Oops, KTOV. Here we go. This one here, guys, also another penny stock. So again, staying away from this one. Not the type of stuff that we usually trade. And BLU, BLU right now, it had a nice drop here, down 75%. Wow, that is a big drop. What is the float on this one? What's this company information? So we're looking at 34 million share float. It looks like a biological company, probably some products they sell here.
Canadian biopharma, I believe.
Okay, so again,
they had a phase 2 trial that failed, it seems. So,
gotcha. So huge drop on this one right now, guys, 6.5. So again, it's already been halted, I see. So I usually try not to trade something that's halted already. It's just, that could have been a halt on news though. I'm not sure. It has to be a halt on news actually. So might still be okay. Let's throw it on here as a possible, guys. We'll see how this thing develops. Right now, it's just kind of moving sideways. That was a BLU. Okay, BLU had a nice big drop already. And be careful that this does not mean that this stock is going to continue to drop, guys. We've seen sometimes when you get this huge drop and someone finds here, hey, this could be a good price to get in now. So be careful on thinking this thing is going to continue to drop here. Do not have a bias. Now, what I don't like about this one here is, for the most part, doesn't have a whole lot of trading. And look at the daily here. It's very choppy. It doesn't look like it trades very well at all. But today could be the difference maker, obviously, with this drop here. We'll see what kind of action we're going to get at BLU this morning. All right, folks, let's head over to our announcements and we'll come back and do some levels. Norm, I know you haven't had a chance to look at your list, but is there anything you like this morning that you were looking?
Oh, you looked at Uber. I didn't see it on your list.
Yeah.
I'm still going through it, man. I'm running well behind. This may be one of those days when I steal you guys' lists, frankly.
Yeah, gotcha, man. Yeah, Uber's on our list, guys. I love Uber right now, the way it looks. I love the daily. And I knew you was going to have this one because I know you're watching this one closely for the most part. And today's looking very good this morning. All right, let's go over to announcements and we'll come back and do some levels.
All right, guys. So success webinars. This week, Wednesday. Can't wait to hear from Peter, 8 p.m. Eastern. He's going to be talking about expert on this, thoroughly analyzes and thinks about all these things. So it should be a great success webinar, especially for those that are pretty new to the chat room and trading in general. Then next week, Jared's going to be talking about options. He is our in-house options trader, and he will be discussing, actually kind of adding on to Peter's setting up a trading plan, and then, digging deeper with options in that sense. So a little bit of an issue here. There is error on the date on the website. We do have a psychology webinar tomorrow night. Dr. Katz will be talking about FOMO. And then next week is series over again. So he will be back. Trader. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount, 24 bucks instead of 39. Use the promo code premarket24. That gives you 7 days in the chat. That gives you 7 calendar days to try out Bearable Traders. It's 5 trading days. And part of that, too, is you get to go to the Monday night onboarding class with Carlos every week at 8 p.m. If you'd like to upgrade your membership or become a lifetime member, use the promo code Independence40 to get 40% off the lifetime membership. That will be pulled off the website, I believe, today or tomorrow. So you won't be hearing about that one anymore after tomorrow. If you like podcasts, search your favorite podcast platform, Talk with Traders, and you will find the Bearable Traders podcast coming out with fresh content every week or so. And then Peter, Mike, and Brian join them if live streaming on YouTube, the chat room from 3:30 to 4:15 every day, Monday through Thursday. We're getting close to earnings season again. It's be hitting earnings season here fairly soon, and they will have some good stuff to talk about right after the close.
All right, thank you, Norm, for that. Appreciate it. All right, folks, let's go into this list and see what we have going on. Let's start over with the top here. We have FUTU. Again, this is up nice, guys. Pre-market still not looking any better than when we left it earlier today, so I'm a little bit on the fence on actually keeping this one on our list this morning. We'll come back to it. Let's look at INO. This is definitely on our list, moving very well. FUV, I think these were very similar to FUTU, also not looking great. So this might be moved down to our possibles list. Uber is good. I'm keeping that one. American Airlines, tons of volume, although we're moving sideways here. Hopefully we can find a breakout one way or the other at the open, but the volume is pretty good right now on American Airlines, up 3%. JD is good. Hopefully we can get a nice little breakout here, get some movement going. WKHS coming right back down to that previous day close line. So I like what I'm seeing on WKHS right now. Just a lot of activity towards the top and bottom around this previous day close line with some really good volume, 2.4. So let's make some movements here. So I'm going to move down FUV. All right, so we will move down FUV. We'll move down FUTU. These two are, again, they got potential, but right now they're just not looking all that great. So I like what I'm seeing on the ones that we have here. NIO is great. Uber is great. American Airlines is not so great, but I love the volume right now. JD is good, guys, hitting all-time highs. WKHS, great pre-market action right now. Let's see what it does at this previous day close line. GUNX, this one moving okay right now. Volume is insane right now. 12 million shares traded so far. So I think it could be a good possible. Again, sometimes even though you have this much volume, it might not be a great trading stock. Here we have SQ here. SQ I think is good also, hitting all-time high, guys. Good pre-market action. I think I want to keep this one on here. Plug just losing it now. Big. So something going on with Plug here. And we'll definitely want to keep an eye on that. And PDD could be a good possible. All right, I'm going to fine tune even the possibles list now, guys. We're not going to keep a lot on here. So FUTU, FU, these two are good. BLU is okay. Bob is actually pretty good. Billy, so. INO we have it at the top here, don't we? No, INO is down here. Okay. Man, we have so many on our possibles list. All right, we'll give it a little more time for them to develop and see what we can get out of them. Right now, our main list overall looks pretty good, so let's start with that one. So here's a NIO, guys, right now. Great pre-market action, 18 million shares traded for the most part. We're going to put a level here at 1185, which is the high of our pre-market. Towards the bottom, the low of our pre-market sitting at 1012. So that's two good levels there, and I believe we haven't had any recent activity up here in a very, very long time. We're going back to beginning of last year, 2019, February, March. We do have daily levels right on here around 1058. We do have some highs going back at 1374. I want to zoom back a little more here. And I think this is when we had IPO. Yes, so your IPO price 1374 is your high, not your IPO price, but the high that we went on that run up was there. And then since then, we haven't really had a lot of whole activity around this price action now. So zooming into the action today, You got your highs and lows right now, and then below that, previous day close and the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So pre-market action right now looks like we might want to test this 1185 one more time. Let's see if we can get up there after bouncing from these levels here. Next is Uber, guys. Beautiful daily here. Has a nice support that we're bouncing off the last 3 days on there. The last 3 trading days. High of the pre-market. We're sitting slightly at 33.55, so we'll mark that down. If we can get above that, we do have a level at 34. You want to mark that. You can see several days using that as support, opening and closing right on this level, and then several days here using that as resistance as well. If we're able to break out of there, this daily is a little bit choppy, but you do have a range that is clearly seen right here at 34.92. Several days using their wicks and bouncing off of that. Again, you got 3 different ranges here, 3 different levels on this range. You have the wicks getting all the way down to 33.53. You have the closing and the opening around that 34.07, and then you have the top of it all sitting at 34.92. So 3 good levels you want to have on here. Obviously, the 33.53 and the 34.92 are your more important levels there. Above that, guys, if we do get a nice run in, you do have a level at 36 on Uber. Towards the bottom, guys, here you have this is a minor level, not a major level, but you do have some days bouncing off this 32.40. So I'm going to mark that on there. But your main levels are going to be what's down here around 31.50 and 31. You got plenty of support and resistance over the last couple of days in here that can now become support as the price action is above that. Here is American Airlines, guys. Again, continues to have tons of volume. We're breaking down a little bit here. So the major level for the most part on American Airlines is going to be this previous day close line. We're heading towards that area now. You do have your highs and lows also between the previous day close line and your price action now. As far as pre-market, this level here, guys, you want to mark this down 12.82. Look how many times we tested that before we broke down. The minute we're breaking down here, we're really starting to get going. So let's see if this can continue to create a nice pre-market low somewhere down here. We're pretty much stuck between the highs and lows right now. If you break down towards the bottom, you do have a level at 12.05, and towards the top you have a level at this is 13.60. Yes, 13.60 is good, and you also have your highs from 2 days ago up there. So plenty of levels right now, guys. We get a nice little breakdown here on American Airlines. As we mentioned, although the market is up, American Airlines does not have great news behind it, causing this to probably come back down to break even here or in the red for the most part. Here's JD dying down a bit right now. So again, start to get going to test this market high at 16.15. We'll mark that down. The low of the pre-market as 64.15, excuse me, and then the low of the pre-market at 63.32. If it loses that, the next level of support we have is 62.42. So for the most part, pretty strong right now. Not such a sexy pre-market activity as we're seeing here, but again, this stock is strong, 326,000. Let's see if we can get any kind of continuation this morning. WKHS coming right back down to that previous day close line. We tested it once already. Let's see if we're going to lose it here. For the most part, let's remove some of these levels that we have. High of our pre-market all the way up at 22.05. We are now crashing down pretty nice here, going red. Towards the bottom, we do have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading day, guys. So look at on here. You have your highs and lows covering you for the most part. Towards the bottom, if we continue to drop, the next level I can see possibly this one here. Again, you don't have really much going on in this area, 16.22, and then towards the top, I think we're sitting at all-time highs for the most part on WKHS, or at least the most recent highs. So we'll see. Going red right now. Let's see if the previous day close is going to hold it from going any higher. What are we going to do in this situation? GNUX also breaking down here, but it's a SPY breaking down, causing some stuff to go south here. Let's just double check. What's the SPY?
Not really.
Not really.
I mean, it's coming off a little bit, but barely.
Yeah, okay, that's almost nothing compared to what we're seeing on some of these stocks. So GUNX here dropping nicely as well, guys, heading back down. I do not have shares for sure on this one. So, you know what, I'm going to remove this one from the list, guys. I got to make this list a bit smaller, and I already like what I'm seeing on American Airlines, Uber, and some other stocks on here. So I'm going to remove this one from the list so far. SQ still strong, not budging at all here, trying to break this previous day highs, which is your all-time high here, kind of testing it right now. Towards the top, you don't have anything. All your levels are towards the bottom. I am going to mark down just the low of the pre-market at 116.21, and then for the most part, you pretty much cover on some really good levels here. Do not need to add anything more. Plug continues to plummet here, guys. We're having a nice big drop here, losing this 978 level that we had. Where did we get that level from? Must have been a pre-market or something. But for the most part, highs and lows got you covered, guys. Previous day close, all in this area. You do not need to add anymore. Maybe you want to add the pre-market high. If we go back and test that 1009 area we have in the pre-market high, let's put that on there. But you have tons of levels here, plus this 978, which is an important level here in the pre-market. But I don't remember putting that in the pre-market. Let's go back. Where do we get that from? Okay, here we go. We got this from a pre-market high on Thursday morning. That is what that is here. So you can see in this pre-market that also has been tested several times on there. We're losing that level and dropping down nicely to the next level, 951. We'll see if that is going to hold this train at the moment. PDD right now still not doing a whole lot. Could be a good possible. I might move it down here. High of the pre-market 101.60. The low is right below the high of the last trading day, which would have been Thursday. Then below they got the previous day close, and you can add this level right on here at 90.44 as a possible as well. So again, not seeing a whole lot right now on PDD, but we traded this stock before. It does trade very well, so I'm inclined to keep it on our list and see what kind of action we're going to get at the open. So all right, let's look at our possibles list here. So these two I'm just going to remove, guys. I don't like the way they're setting up for my style of trading. So FUV and TV over there, I'm going to take those out of the way. I'm going to make some more room here. Let's look at blue. I know we had blue on the spotlight as well. This could be a decent one to watch depending how things go here. Let's make some room here for our possibles list. Then we have, let's delete here. Then we have BABA next. Let's see how that's looking. 1 second, guys. Just want to delete these two columns, get these out the way so we can see better. All right, so here's BABA breaking out nicely. Let's do some levels for this one because I think this one could be good. And I notice a lot of you guys that do like trading this stock. So right now, high of your pre-market, 233.85. Towards the bottom, bless you, Norm. Towards the bottom, we do have 232.85. This is a good level to have pre-markets. Look how many times we tested that before we broke out of that. So you want to have that 232.85 in case we come back down and retest some things towards the downside. Low of the pre-market, 231.76. And then towards the bottom, you really have just one level here before we start getting towards the previous day close and highs and lows at 230.91 on BABA. Billy, guys, what is it doing? Not doing a whole lot. I'm going to remove it. So let's get this one out of the way. INO very active this morning. I'm going to keep it down as possible. Right now, you really do not need to add any levels, maybe just the high of the pre-market. But aside from that, you're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, and you got the previous day close towards the bottom as well. So you're pretty good there. PFE was very active last week. Again, had a nice little pop here. Caused the markets to move with their news, but right now it's just moving sideways. I'm going to keep it right on here as possible. I don't see anything else looking all that great for the most part. Let's get our high of the pre-market at 35.36. And then towards the bottom, plenty of levels, highs and lows got you covered down there. LMND, this one, this is the recent IPO, guys, continues to rip nicely here. So right now, just ripping above this area 72.53, or we have some kind of resistance early in the pre-market, ripping through that now. So I'm going to keep it down here for a possible scalp opportunity. And then here we have D. We'll have to see what D is going to give us today. Again, they're down, which is kind of shocking with the news they had behind it. But for the most part, your low of your pre-market is at 80.30. So let's mark that down. And then below that, you do have a level right on here, 79.34. Towards the top, guys, we got plenty of levels we have to get through to get back to where we were. This thing was up almost at $100 here, 99.89, and now we're back down to 80.50. So pretty interesting drop here on even on some positive news. Low flow of the day so far that I see, guys, is AYRO. Again, I won't be watching this one. We're getting a little bit of rejection here of 528. But for the most part, just be careful with this type of stock on how you trade and how many shares you take on this one. Okay, so let's look at actually today, guys, is Mindful Monday. So let's bring in Dr. Katz, who did make a nice video for us this morning. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll come back and look at what our moderators are watching today.
Dr. Jonathan Katz here for your Monday Mindfulness Moment. Today I'd like to talk about the topic of anger, because anger is something that could be very debilitating and negatively impact not only your personal life, your interpersonal life, but your work and trading life. We are living now in what some people have described as an anger incubator. We are dealing with three disasters all at once. the pandemic, the economic fallout, and civil unrest. And this has led to an increase in anxiety and depression, which can often manifest itself in anger and frustration. So a lot of the anger that many people are experiencing is understandable, given the world's stressors and what is going on. But anger is often a mask for underlying fears and feelings. And unmanaged anger can really erupt in a very aggressive behavior, which can actually impact your trading in ways that you may not be aware of. So this becomes an increasing concern, just again, not only in your general daily lives, but in your trading lives. So what are some strategies to curb anger? Because I think this could be helpful for everyone, both inside and outside of trading. Well, the first step, of course, is to insulate yourself from anger. Not getting angry in the first place, it makes it much easier to kind of manage whatever anger you have. So there are 3 antidotes that can help anger from really taking hold. One is appreciation, and that is really paying attention not to what angers you, but to the things that contribute to positivity in your life. So if you can focus on that, we tend to sometimes focus on the negative, but if you can focus on the positivity in the face of some difficult times, that's enormously helpful. Secondly is affiliation, meaning nurturing our relationships. If you can try to connect with family, friends, loved ones, that helps sometimes dissipate some of the anger you're experiencing. So that could be a very positive step that we all can do. The third thing is aspiration, which is really kind of the striving to accomplish things that are really bigger than ourselves and that serve other people. I think especially in this time when we're able to do that, that can help moderate, modulate, and reduce a lot of the anger that we're experiencing. And of course, as we've talked about several times, basic self-care in terms of eating well, sleeping well, limiting your alcohol consumption, hydrating, getting some exercise. These are all helpful things that can help reduce some of the anger we're experiencing because they are antidotes and constructive ways of dealing with it. So I think, calming yourself, thinking before you act, counting to 10 before when you find yourself getting angry, distracting yourself with kind of positive things. I think these are all important components to try to use the energy that you feel sometimes from the anger in a more positive and constructive way. And I think this applies, again, if you're able to do this in your personal life, I think it has a good chance of flowing over to your trading life. So that's Dr. Jonathan Katz with your Monday Mindfulness Moment. I hope you have a good day and a great trading week.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for that, Dr. Katz, putting that together for us. All right, guys. So we do have a pretty nice list coming up on 9:17 Eastern time this morning. But we do have a great question I want to get to here. And that is coming from one of our YouTube members here. Where are the tutorials to understand how to trade those levels? I'm a bit lost in finding if the stocks that are being found are for short or long positions. And that's a great question because we get that quite a bit here, guys. And when we look at our watch list, we're not deciding at the moment we're putting our watch list together if we're going to go long or short. And what I mean by that, let's take an example, Uber. Uber is up 7.2 right now. This stock is very strong. At the open, if you look at our strategies in our education center, at the open, this stock can completely give us a nice opening range breakdown on a 5-minute. And then after it does that drop and it gives you an opportunity to take some profits out, it can become a beautiful long for the entire day. Right. So, yes, this stock is strong, but if we can get an opportunity to take this short if it does sell off and all the signals for an open range breakdown or any type of short opportunity becomes available. So we're not making the decision on how to trade this, whether long or short at that time. Later on, after it does that nice short and you take advantage, you can come back up and retest this 33.53. And if it breaks out of that, it could become a beautiful long for the next level. Right. So many ways you can trade things with our style of trading. We're not looking to get into into a trade that's going to last the whole day in that direction. A lot of our guys are looking for short momentum plays at the open that could last literally minutes, right? And then there's other trades that can develop after that can last an hour or two. So depending on your style. So look at class number 2. We do talk about our levels and how important they are and why they are important. So definitely take a look at that class if you have not done so already, for any of our new members or anyone on YouTube. With that said, let's take a look at our moderators watch list this morning. I'm going to scroll up here and we will start with Peter first on the list. So Peter has one stock on his main watch list, which will be Uber. The rest he's going to put on his secondary. He has a good secondary list too here. He has SQ, Facebook, Microsoft, AMD, of course, JD, GNUX, Plug, INO, and LMND. Next we have John. So John is watching several things on. He's watching Baba for a possible breakout. And if John is a new moderator, guys, if you have not heard the news last week, he has joined the team here as a moderator, and he has a very specific list in the way he trades. So one day maybe we'll bring John on and kind of talk about the way he trades. He does have a beautiful webinar as well that he put together about the way his style and his trading. So he's watching Baba, Apple, Zoom, ZM, and Nvidia as well are all he's looking for to break a high of all-time highs, and he's looking for it to break levels there. Eamon's watching INO. He's watching NIO, excuse me. He's watching NIO, FUV, GSX, and also as a secondary JD. Thor, he's watching Uber and NIO and some of the travel stocks. Jared, oh no, that's just a message. Brian is watching INO, American Airlines, Baba, NIO, and also Labu, as well as AYRO for fun. And when he says for fun, it's because that is a low flow stock, so you want to be very, very careful in trading this one. Getting a nice little pop here. Looks like it might want to go test this 528. Once again. So that is what we have. Norm, I know you've been having some tech issues, but have you been able to put a list together of what you like? I know you like Uber so far this morning.
I like Uber, but no, man, I'm having so many technical problems this morning that I don't know if I'll trade or not. Gotcha.
All right, excellent, guys. Thank you so much for joining the pre-market show. Let's get this week underway. We will see you guys on YouTube tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. Trade safe, and we'll continue here in the chat room, fine-tuning our list that we have here and seeing what opportunities we can get this morning. Take care, guys. Trade safe.
Take care, guys.